Hello, beautiful. Oh, hang on. I'll drop that one off. Oh, drop everything. Yes, totally, babe.
Sex with me so amazing.
Good song to come on. Oh, I love it. I am just going to do errands first, which will only take a few minutes, only because I know that if I don't do it, I will forget. So, errands. My question is that I've been asked by a lady to trade offerings. Her offering is something I was very interested in before this proposition. Thing is that it's in person and she is well known. So, if it goes well, I know she'd spread the word. Okay, so I don't have as much confidence in person as I've struggled before with people who don't particularly know Kanika. Doing it on practitioners is different and I'm more in flow. I really want to go through with it, but my nervous system is saying no, and if I do it in this state, it'll be in my head and won't flow. Okay, so this is coming down to sacral chakra is what was coming through me when she brought this through. Now, it's about the comparison piece and how to gift yourself an awareness that anytime you have a comparison, it's an ability or it's a invitation to really tune in and see where you can celebrate that woman. Right, so there's two components. So there's one, a comparison that somehow she's more important in some way, but two is when in person with Kanika from a different point of view, is that Kanika, when it's not feeling like it's working in person, what is often happening is you've probably stepped out of the body. So the first thing you want to do is do the Holy Trinity on yourself first before you go into that space. And once you've done the Holy Trinity, then you would probably do that on that client as well, just to open up the space and then get into a coaching space, right? And offering them that knowing that they get to be comfortable. Like I will always say, I've had people who have ended up in the corner of their room with their head wedged in the wall because they were trying to get enough pressure on their their parietal. So the most important thing you do is you keep yourself comfortable throughout this whole process. If you need to move, I'm going to move with you. If you need to change positions, I'm going to change positions with you, right? And so really giving them their agency and autonomy back. Right? You are holding the space, the pressure field for their body to go through the transformation, for their body to come through the birth canal. If you hold strong, it is always going to create a shift in pressure for that person, whether it looks like it or not. So I hope that supports Erin and for anybody else who needed to hear that. But really on the comparison side of things, what if this is exactly what her body is desiring and you have the opportunity to gift that and you can see her from a different point of view of being in full like celebration of the woman she is and celebration of the woman you are, because we're just at different levels of our journey or different areas or time and space of our journeys. So yeah, sometimes when we put people on pedestals, it can take us out of our body. So I drop you in through the Holy Trinity first and them as well. All right, sacral chakra is that core of creation energy. You all come from the same, we all come from the same core of creation. All right, babe, Valeria, jump in. Gorgeous. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Hello. I'm good, babe.
Okay, I'm not doing well. I kind of prefaced on the text the other day, and I think the piece that bugs me the most is the energy that I spend every day on fighting myself. And making myself wrong, and I know that I'm making myself wrong, and I feel exhausted and I'm in a complete overwhelm, but I'm causing that on myself because I'm going to sleep way too late because I'm binging on bloody Netflix again and eating. I mean, I fell off the wagon last week already, and yeah, like I'm having double portions of, I mean, healthy food, but double portions all the time, and then later I stay up the more I eat because then I need to keep kind of, I'm tired, so I need food, and I get into that vicious cycle. And And I know like anyone looking from the outside could go like, but just stop doing it. I said, I can't. It's just horrible. And I'm exhausted. And today I got to the point that I had like 4 meetings in a row at work, and I could not, I just felt I couldn't take anymore. It's like my brain stopped working. And I've got a trip planned, I need to have a work trip the day after tomorrow. That's why today I started painting, and I'm gonna have a bath and I'm going to bed because I'm really, but it's like I did it to myself and I'm done. Yeah.
All right. I hear you, babe. So there's a big opportunity for a paradigm shift here, right? I also just want to be really transparent and say I'm actually doing something very, very similar. So, like on an energetic level, there's a lot going on underneath, right in the root to sacral, is what I'm feeling. It's like a rebirthing of values and how we see ourselves and how we relate to ourselves in that mirror reflection, right? So, giving you that piece as well is like the transparency. Trina heard all of my like vomit diarrhea last night. I was like, oh my God, it's overwhelmed, right? And I want to tune in and find out how much of this, like there's 2 parts that I want to go. One is we're going to check in and find out neuroinflammatory, like how much of this is neuroinflammation. And 2, we're going to tune into when was the original trigger? Like if we go back in your timeline, what was the trigger that activated this sequence, right, through the program? So just heading inwards and just asking, like, let's drop you in a little bit more actually. So just inviting you to drop deeply into your T13, definitely want T13. Dropping into the no sphere, the no space. Just letting all that frustration, and is there resentment, letting it all be actually here, letting it be felt, letting it be seen. All right, and just asking the body, 0 to 100, how much is there neuroinflammation here?
About 70.
All right, and stay under. I'm going to carry on. And so just tracking back a few weeks and feeling that upset that's in the throat. I can feel the pressure at the back of the throat. What color or texture is it?
It's dark, like brown or black, something dark.
Yeah. And on the timeline of the last few weeks when this kind of got activated, got triggered, what does your body remember in that moment?
It started again when I came back from holidays. So it's like there started like a rubber band, and I was very conscious of that. And then there was a big event that I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I had pain in my neck and the shoulder the whole of those days prior. But it has to do with the amount of work that I have now and the upset of I keep wondering. I mean, I don't even know if I want the other role that I was going for, which was head of the company. I don't even know if I want that. But why wasn't I even given the opportunity to apply for it when my boss originally, sent me an email saying you have all the qualities, and he asked me if I was interested, and I said yes. And so he's given me a whole full-time job additional to mine. And yes, I'm earning a lot more. I'm on 6 figures and the whole thing, but I have 2 full-time roles. And now there's someone that is coming into that role, which means that for half of my role, I will have someone else to prove myself to. because
It cut
they
out
don't
there for a
have
second.
the vision that I have to prove myself to.
Yeah.
And I've been kind of put into a place where I need to play the politics, and it's all men again, and I have to, and they don't understand that I have another role to fulfill, and they don't understand what that role entails either, because it's a national role, and I work a lot with the regions. I don't work with the London team that much. So it's all that pressure of having someone that, you know, I need my freedom and I need to be able to do what I've been doing up until now, and yeah, the proving myself, and it's hard piece, yeah.
All right. So getting you to go under again, just tuning into the body and just dialing all of that up 1% and just feeling, show me, like give me the picture of where all of that pressure is, where it lies, and what happens when your soul feels that pressure.
It's right here from the stomach, it's in the front of the body, and it's all constricted.
Yep. So it's sensory, it's neuro, it's heart, and it's solar plexus. Yeah.
And I'm I'm very aware that I'm eating to meet the pressure. Yep. And because I'm sitting here and I'm feeling like I'm in a huge balloon, and I make myself wrong because I just finished a 2-month beautiful detox and I was feeling great, and I'm wasting it. And yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so feeling the pressure. Where does your soul go when the pressure is heavy?
Right out.
And can you see
and I
where
want
she
to cry,
goes?
and I'm also aware that I want to cry and I'm laughing.
Yeah. There's always a cry behind laughter. So whereabouts does she head for safety? Where's her home base?
But if you ask me something, I didn't come through. Sorry.
I was just asking where your soul's home base is.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, you're right.
So I'm feeling pressure be around the kidneys, but I'm hearing something around. It's like if I was being told like serious, but I'm hearing Platina, as if it was a place.
Platina?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Is it off planet?
It's like another galaxy.
Yeah. All right. So what we've got to do is create a bridge back, right? So first off, I want to just give you the reflection that when we do a detox, right? When we do a 2-month, 3-month detox, the body will have a rubber band effect where it will call back all of the things that it didn't want to do, right? That it has a problem with, to clear out the belief systems that were being cleansed, right? So it's like that rubber band comes back and it's like pulls those things forward. So we just got to rewire them. It's not a problem that you're overeating at all. It's not a problem that you're feeling overwhelmed at all, period, because you do have a shit ton on, right? It is not a problem that you're watching Netflix and in a functional freeze, okay, babe? It's not. It just isn't, because you're actually holding a lot, right? And when we make it wrong, we actually then spiral deeper and then make it wrong again. And this is the shame spiral that really, really hurts, right? You have done nothing wrong. You have been going 1,000 miles an hour for a very long time. And your body is just deeply, deeply desiring space. Right? Which can feel really uncomfortable when it doesn't feel like this is home base. So what we're going to do is just create a bridge from Platana. Is that right? Is that right? Yeah. From that galaxy to this galaxy. And it's not going to be immediate. It's just going to be a process. And then we are going to rewire that when someone comes in above you, it doesn't mean you have to prove yourself. It's just that they get to take the responsibility of the big shit. All right. We get to rewire that piece. You can hand over a lot more and be like, I'm not the backstop to the. Right? They have to prove themselves to you. You know that job inside out. All right. So getting you to close down your eyes.
It is Pleiades, by the way.
It's what one? What?
Pleiades, whatever the galaxies, Pleiades or Pleiades or
Pleiades.
Pleiades,
Okay.
that one. That's what it was coming through.
It keeps cutting out. Awesome. Okay, so 7 sisters are the 7 seals of the body, right? So we're placing pressure on the sternum. And then I'm going to go quite an unusual one here. We haven't done this before, but up into the septum, like from this point of view. It feels really uncomfortable. Go up. Yeah. And your thumb under here. All right. And I'm going to take you through it. And when you see your soul in Pleiades, you're just going to create a bridge out of some kind of material, a felt material. I know you're kinesthetic, so a felt material. And slowly going to see your soul coming back in, okay? So taking a deep breath in. Sip it in 3 times. Hold. That's it. See the bridge being created from that end to this end and the meeting in the middle. Keep going. You got this. That's it. Feeling it down into the sacrum now. You're dropping in. You're dropping back. That bridge is easy transition, soft, calling your soul back. You didn't do anything wrong. You're not punishable. Your body is just asking for more space. That's it. That's it. Twisting your heart, the sternum a little bit to the left. It's going right into a twist. Clearing the belief or the template that I have to prove myself to be worthy, valuable, that I am that I am. That's it. Just unlocking the mitochondrial energies, billions upon trillions of energy vitality in and through the body, in and through each cell. That's it. Finding deeper communication between each cell and each mitochondria. It might feel really unusual in your body right now. You're safe. You're here. You're grounded. Breathe in that new air. Where's it? There we go. There's the new breath. And your card, babe, was the heart card, and it's unfeeling back to love. It's a dragonfly.
Mm. Oh, I love dragonflies.
All right, so I want you to pick one breath work, one type of breath work that takes 5 minutes max, that is not stimulating, it's actually calming. So whether that's the, 4 in, 8 long exhale, and do that 13 times. And I want you to set a gentle alarm for 3 to 4 times in the day, that whenever that comes up, you just take that space. No matter what you're doing, unless you're in a meeting, you just sign it off, right? Like close. But I really want you to come back to your breath. Okay. And then the last thing is a journaling prompt around I feel guilty because, and all of that shit needs to be burnt. There's nothing you're doing wrong, period. One last thing. After this, just check in with your body. My 1 hour of work for the business, for the company, okay? Asking your body how much 1 hour of work does the body need to recover? So like as in, if it's 1 hour of work in the company, it might take 20 minutes to recover outside the company. Or do you know what I mean? So just checking in with what the time frame is so that we can get a clearer idea of how much space your body is asking for and where we can place that for your body at its best kind of DNA genius, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What's happening?
I feel a lot of pressure in the throat.
Yeah. Possibly time to scream, right? Yeah. I'm dropping everything today. Awesome, babe. All right. Love you. Have a good sleep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Who's next? Jen, you are on next. Do you want to jump in? Saw that take you a while.
Like I didn't need to go right now, but we're actually having our first snowfall here, so that's why I was watching out the window. It was 20 degrees on Sunday, and now it's 0 and snowing. Like this is literally what our weather. Like the polarity is huge, so that's why I also feel like I feel different polarity,
That's
right? But
crazy.
yeah, it is crazy, and it'll probably be 20 degrees in another week too, to be honest. But yeah. So my one thing. And this came up. I had a quick little chat with Laura earlier this week too, right? She had put out some of those offerings. But anyway, this came up too, but like it can't be that easy. So a little like story here. I'll try to make this short. My kids were going through some stuff a couple weeks ago. The oldest has always been his mind will go and he's always paranoid he's going to get an illness or cancer or something. Honestly, since he's been little, but I've actually seen into a past life, whatever, it makes sense. But anyway, one night he was super stressing. He texted me at 11 p.m. He wanted me to come out and like pretty much reassure him that he's fine, right? So that's what I did. I took 5 minutes. I'm somebody that goes to bed at like 9 or 9:30. So yes, I'd already been sleeping, but I'm like, when they're stressed, I'll get up. And they won't usually ask unless they need it. So 5 little minutes and like just talk to him. I'm like, just try to relax. Like I know it's hard to think about. He already hadn't been sleeping the night before. So he went downstairs, he said, and I didn't know this, but like brushed his teeth and went to bed. Well, I went back to bed. I'm like, well, I'm just going to do a little session on him. Like usually I've never done it from bed. I'll send my kids some energy, right? Like doing all sorts of stuff. I'm like, I ended up doing the full like basic treatment protocol with Chinese medicine. So like purging, like so much purging, especially out of his head. And then like the tonifying, regulating, But the weird thing is I stayed awake the whole time, not moving, like my eyes were closed. Typically I would fall asleep. Like I can usually fall asleep in 2 seconds. So I kept being aware. I'm like, well, he must need this, right? But then I'm like, I didn't tell him and I didn't ask him. And typically I still would with my own kids, but they also come to me, right? So it's like the permission. Well, I missed him the next morning before he left for school. He came home at lunch, and as soon as he walked in the doorway, like come through the entry, I'm like, oh, last night. And he looked at me, he's like, I know, I knew you were there. He's like, it was so weird. I brushed my teeth and went to bed. He's like, I laid down, and he's like, this is really weird. But he's like, it's like I took all of my worry and my thoughts and put it on like the side table. He's like, I don't know why, but and like everyone knows that is not something he would do. Like you can't get him to like forget or like anything, right? So he's like, it was so weird, but he's like, this is awesome though. Like I'll just go with it. And he said he'd close his eyes and he could hear me. So he'd open thinking like he was dreaming. He's like, nope. Then he said he'd close them again and he'd start to see like white light and hear me again. So he said he kept opening his eyes. He's like, I wasn't scared, but he's like, I knew you were there. And like, then he had this whole like light show, and he's met his spirit team before, only one other time. So he did see them again. They come in different colors. Like he can see auras and stuff too. He just doesn't make that public knowledge. But anyway, he said the message he got is like not being like afraid of death. Like that was what his people were there to reassure him, and he felt so good. So knew he was awake for that because he kept opening his eyes and able to like tap in and tap out, right? But he had a dream later that would typically scare him. He just finally showed me a picture of what this clown, like off the It movie, looks like. I never knew what he looked like because I don't watch scary movies. So, but all these teeth, right? Like all these teeth. And he's like, in the dream, like they were in some like normal places around where we live. And it would like bite his face and kill him. And like it was killing all the other people, but he was never afraid. He's like, it was the weirdest thing. Everywhere I go, the clown just was and like killing people. So he's like, the metaphor he even told me himself before I said anything is like walking alongside death like the whole time, but never being afraid, like still living your life. I was like, holy shit. Like at 19 years old, I could have that. So anyway,
that's incredible.
It is incredible for him, especially, right? But then it also like right away, I was like, oh my gosh, like it worked. You know what I mean? Like it justified for me. But then I keep holding myself back because one, I'm way more tapped in with my kids, and they're obviously very open to my energy and like everything else. But like, what if it actually could be that easy with people? Because I already knew this in the summer when I do my sessions, 80% of my moving is not needed. Like I could stand in one spot and do what I'm doing. So like that just showed me that that is true, right? But like,
yeah.
Are other people, I just don't feel like other people are going to be open and receptive that it could be something so like easy.
Okay, so of course it can be that easy because that's what we are. We're made of quantum light and everything. So I fucking love that. And I love that you got that feedback. And what it takes for other people to believe in that is the way that you set up the space. And we know that you set up the space fine. And it might just be a couple of tweaks around the idea that you offer them a video like this, like what you were saying, about an experience that some of your clients have had. And in that, you give them, these are the 3 things I need you to do to prepare for your session.
Okay. Because this morning
right?
I was thinking
because
about this,
if
like,
you do receive,
yeah, like we need that like interaction.
Because what it does is it just
trust me. Sorry.
Yeah. No. It's like there's a delay. So what that does is that allows them an awareness of what's possible.
Mm-hmm.
But it also gives them the guidelines for them to be able to receive that. But then also it gives them the awareness that if they do whatever they do receive in the next 72 hours is part of the journey that you've gifted them. And then speaking into things like, like I speak into rubber bands with my big client, like my VIP clients. I'm like, so what will happen is we're going to go deeper. What that means is that there are going to be some rubber bands where it's going to feel really uncomfortable because you're going to be shifting the old out while you come into the new, because you're actually having a consciousness shift. And this will look like this, and this. Right? So this is all about facilitation. You're stepping away from the healer and teacher component of your Trinity, and you're stepping into facilitation for that space. And that will look like something in the beginning. It could even just be an email, but I feel like you are beautiful. You come across amazing on camera. I think that will allow them to drop into their space. And then when you're actually doing the work, you can be like, hey, I've completed it. If you're doing distance, especially, I've just completed it. These are the 3 key points that wanted to come through. So please be aware that this, and this could happen.
Yeah.
But if you kind of create a video that is just for literally, so that you're kind of standardizing it, it's just a 5-minute video for anybody who comes into your space that they must watch as a terms and conditions to working with you. Right? It creates professionalism, it creates a standardized approach, but it also allows them to see so much more and prepare so much more for your sessions, and it puts weight on your authority of how you bring yourself into your role.
Mm-hmm. I do realize that I have to come across confident in that approach, right? Which I'm still, if I'm being honest, I'm very confident when it comes time to my family and my kids and stuff, right? But yeah, I need to make sure that's solid before I go ahead and do that. Yeah.
Okay, so law of assumption, you are borrowing from the like we had last session, you're borrowing from the woman that you know that you are already, but she's a little bit further ahead on your timeline. And you're like, you back yourself 100%. You know that you're getting the same results as you did with your son. And so you're like, right, I borrow from that person. And I remember the feeling that I have when someone comes back and they're like, holy shit, yeah, I had the most insane experience after that. And this, and this happened. Right? And you start creating a Google Drive Dropbox for that, all of that feedback. Right? This is your banking evidence. And the law of assumption is that you already assume that it is here. You've already been working with incredible people because you have. So where that confidence, I don't think it's confidence. I think it's an upper limit. It's your body afraid of really, truly owning your fucking genius zone.
Yeah, that probably is it. Yeah. But why does that even have to happen? That's a whole other topic. But anyway.
Because we know that in a past life that you have felt like you've hurt someone. And so that's taken you out from the, what if I hurt someone, right? That's one of the big ones. 2, what if I'm a big head and think I'm more better than somebody else, right? We know that you've got that story going as well, right? Which we talked about last week of I'd rather be rich and fucking really stoked that I'm bringing my whole, my whole mission to life and that it's having an impact and a worldly ripple effect than worrying what other people think. And 3, we know that you already have resources, so there's not actually a financial drive. So there's not almost money and time are going together. So you're it doesn't really, I don't really have a deadline. I've got to sort my shit out and be 100% responsible.
But I also want to sort my shit out for myself, right? Because I get frustrated of not executing. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So you have a different deadline. Your deadline is along the lines of I want to be my greatest version of myself. And so where is that going to be I'm over playing 1 foot in, 1 foot out?
That's totally what it is.
Yeah. Because it's actually harder to play 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's so much harder because you question yourself all the time. Yeah, it's exhausting.
It is, yeah.
I literally said to hubby this morning. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Nope, go ahead.
I literally said to hubby this morning, I'm exhausted. He's like, why? And I was like, I think I've got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. There's too much limbo in my life right now. And when I was all in for Kanika and there were 33 people in, there was so much energy momentum that I was literally gliding. I didn't find anything really exceptionally hard. I didn't, I posted every day, did all the things without any kind of oh, I have to, or I should, or, you know, like it had nothing like that because I was so fully dialed into this is what I'm creating. Whereas now I've come down the other side of it and I'm like, okay, what's next? And what's actually happening is that I'm just not playing in my genius zone right now. Right. There's a lot of other stuff like for our life that's changing, like foundationally. And so that's kind of had this knock-on effect into who I feel like my next version of myself is. I know I'm about to quantum leap. I can feel it. I know the processes I've been going through. And at the same time, I haven't dreamt big enough for something to motivate me into that law of assumption.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense because I've
So
been thinking, like, what would I actually really want? Right? Like, what do I
yes.
dream? So
Yes.
Cody had asked me that too yesterday. And it would be like people remembering the part where they can heal themselves and power. But like even like another local healer had texted me this morning and wants me like my input and like do a session on her. So right away I freeze a little bit, even though that's all I've ever worked with. And I told Cody, he's like, why are you nervous? I'm like, because I want to help. He's like, that's the best reason ever to go do it then. Like, you're also not doing it for money or for anything else. But I was like, okay, good point.
Yeah, yeah. It's almost like we get the conundrum, you know, like it's like the catch-22 kind of situation. And we've got to offer ourselves that paradox
Mm-hmm.
and let that paradox be okay. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Okay, thank you.
Awesome. And the card that came, well, the cards that jumped out, of course, is the Earth Star Chakra. So, like, grounding this even more, knowing that what you did with your son is like so potent and people are waiting for your medicine, right? And shine your light.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. Yeah. Feel that.
You're
Yeah.
a remarkable healer, Jen. It'll take 5 minutes to set up a video that you can just put onto YouTube unlisted and send to your clients the moment they book.
Yeah. It is that
Right? Shouldn't be a
easy.
20-minute task. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right, accountability. By this time next week, you're going to have a 5-minute introduction video that's unlisted on YouTube that goes in a templated email.
I'm putting it in my phone every day till then to make sure it is complete. Well, maybe I'll give myself to the weekend, but yeah.
Yes, I love it. Awesome. All right. Shake it down. Well done, Jen. I'm celebrating you. Okay, Trina, tell me all the things.
Hey, that was really cool, Jen. Love it. Yes, I've been thinking of it's been in my field to do a video as well on like a landing page. I'm getting a few inquiries about and like, you know, the so-called sales calls now I'm having to do, which I'm feeling really uncomfortable with, and I don't think I've like I need help with stretching into that.
Yes.
I did have a couple 2 weeks ago, and yeah, nothing really came of it. Well, they're just still sitting there in the field, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I just feel really like I'm not really excited when I get those messages, you know, when I get the people booking in for those. It doesn't excite me. It sort of makes me retract a bit more, and it shouldn't.
Which one is that? Which offering is that?
This is for the I can't even sorry, it's early. The Starseed Village family one, what I'm doing with you. Like the
Oh,
big
wow.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay, so let's go into it. What's the resistance? So dropping into your body. Is this what your body wants to do?
yes.
Okay, let's go deeper. Whereabouts is the resistance?
There's a bit about asking for that much money. I think. And then the other bit is about not getting it right or not actually fixing the problems.
Okay. All right. And so we need you to go through. So not getting it right is one. Yeah.
Which my brain, my mind, I know that that's not my job.
Yeah, totally. But that's not what your body's coming up with, right? Like I get, yeah, sales price. Okay, so price. How much is the price again? 3,000?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so where does your body feel is a good, like go outside of the realms of like how much energy you put in and all the time and like how much we've tried to make it, right? Go outside of that, go into your body and ask your body what feels good for that space.
That actually does feel good. I think what I'm getting is that it's not clear for me. It's not clear what I'm actually offering yet.
Okay,
Like,
amazing.
I think it's the clarity what I'm trying to.
Okay, so because there's no clarity, there's a fear that the money is too much, but actually the reality is the body's really happy with that amount.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so clarity wise, we know that you're offering the family a regulated nervous system.
Mm.
You're offering the family an ability to drop in and actually be in their joy, their happiness, their health.
Mm.
And you're offering the family a sounding board for when it gets heavy. Is that right?
Yeah. Support. Yeah.
Yeah. So is it the clarity of what you're offering or is it the clarity of how you do it?
Um, Probably a bit of both, maybe.
Okay. All right. And so, yeah. Sorry, what was that?
I just said I don't know.
It's all right. You've got a lot of pressure going on the left foot. So tell me go back in. The left foot is how we bring up energy. What's happening when you try to ground and center this package for the world?
It's coming straight through here and going right down to the bottom of my foot this way.
So does that feel like it's cutting through? It's not actually circulating.
Like dividing. Yeah, it's like
Dividing. Yeah. Division. Yeah. Okay. And let's go deeper. So the division, when did that start? What was the trigger?
Mm. What I'm being told is that it's new. It's not really anything. I'm trying to create something as I go, like, and it's a new energy that's coming through. And so it's not really anchoring yet anything because it's still being, it's still, you know, being
Being
brought
born.
through in almost drip feeding.
Mhm.
And that's what I'm being told, that why it's not anchoring actually.
All right, put pressure where your fingers are right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Take a deep breath in. Hold. What's happening with your cervix? tucked under. All right, sip it in. Hold. There are 3 families that really are calling for this right now who are absolutely happy doing it as a beta testing so that you can work out how to do this the best way for you. That's it. When you're ready, let go. Cervix, that's it. All right, what's happening? Yeah, it looks a bit more free flow.
Yeah. I've got my feet back on the
Yay. Grounding.
Yeah.
Okay, so action equals confidence, right?
Mm.
You cannot get confidence before you get action.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? And from confidence, you find clarity. It's
Mhm.
not confidence, clarity, action. It's action, confidence, clarity.
Okay, interesting.
Right? Which is a total mind flip.
It is. Yeah. I was
Because the
putting
reality is, yes, exactly. Now, this is what locks down so many people before they've even started, is because they're waiting for the clarity first. And that's going to somehow build confidence, and then they're going to take the action. That's not how it works. You take action, and then there's confidence because you're taking the action. And then through that confidence, you find more clarity.
Yeah.
Because you can look back and be like, okay, now I can see what I desire to shift, right? And this is where, as coaches, as healers, this is how we refine what we do to make it work for us, right? So what I've found in the last 5 years is that I had capacity for a lot more VIPs, right? One-to-ones. This year, with not sleeping and like getting to the 8th year of not sleeping, my value system has changed, and I'm starting to think, actually, I'm not doing so well at that anymore. I don't feel like I can hold that as much anymore. And so the only reason I'm finding clarity is because I'm noticing how much I'm feeling tired when I'm trying to get into that VIP space. Not because of my clients, but because my body's at a capacity now for that experience. And so this is how my business strategy is going to change, right? The whole way that I'm going to bring about business is going to change for me. Not because the last 5 years was wrong at all, but
Yeah.
because now I'm refining it, how I desire it to work for my lifestyle, and how I'm going to be homeschooling. And, I've had to do a 180 in the way that I thought my life was going to be. So naturally, we find clarity the more we have all the evidence to back up where we've been and what we've been doing. But that only happens when we've taken action and found the confidence to do it. Is that kind of changing something, some kind of structure in your pathways?
Definitely.
I can feel like the cervix being like, ah.
Let me out. Let me out.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and so that doesn't feel overwhelming, it's just asking, literally, I don't know if you call it the altar of life or God or Jesus or creator or universe or source energy, but it's literally seeing that altar and placing those fears at the altar, and then asking for what that path is today, and being of servitude to that crystal, to that particular product crystal that wants to come through.
Yeah.
And on the point around sales calls, fuck sales calls. Honestly, never done them, hate them. I just think it's gross. I will offer a 20-minute free session
Yeah, that's
and
what
then
I've
speak to what I offer.
yeah.
And so you could just put in your thing, hey, jump on a call for a 10-15 minute free consult and chat about how you'd like to be best supported through this.
Yeah, that's what I've done pretty much.
Oh yeah, okay, cool.
Half-hour free sessions, but it's really to talk about how it's only for that package though.
Yeah, okay. So what part of that feels ick?
None of it now.
Right.
I don't think
And
no.
what if you went back to those families that are interested right now? And one of the things I do want to make sure is that you do have a deadline conversation about, if you sign up in the next week, then I'll offer you this, this, and this, right? Because otherwise people don't have a like
Time.
humans are just, they're just literally wired to have a deadline. So otherwise they'll be like, yeah, I'll think about it. Maybe I'll do it next year. Maybe I'll do it next week.
Yeah.
That's why most people pay their friggin' fines on the last day that it's due before it goes to the next level, right? Those kind of things. It's just what we do. It's just human nature, right? And so making sure that there is some kind of deadline.
Yeah.
And then
I think I
Yeah.
over offered the last call. Like I was just like, oh, like
yes, okay,
it's so much.
simplify.
And
Yeah,
then I got off and went, fuck, if he says yes, I'm going to be like, that's just, I've just like
blowing your whole nervous system out. And
like,
are
that's
confused.
way too much.
Yeah. Yep. And they're confused. Do you know what? You get more money for the simpler it is.
Yeah.
Always. And people don't want a lot. Like I had a client the other day who was like, oh, the 3 sessions a month. And I was like, I don't want 3 sessions a month as a big leader. Right? Like I don't, because I don't have the time and I don't have time to integrate it and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's why I love distance calls with you, because I'm like, I just don't have the time. I'd rather you tell me what the fuck's going on. And if I need to ask you, because I'm doing the family one with Trina. Okay. Giggling about my conversation with you this last 2 days. Just tell me what's wrong with my child. Okay, so of course the card that came through was transformation.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And the root chakra. Sorry, that was your first card. So the root chakra was ground and center, so it wasn't coming right through. And then the transformation. Yeah. I need to go to the bathroom. I think I took too much bentonite clay. So I'll be back.
Awesome. Oh, how's everyone going? Hi, Jen.
Hello.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, because I've got earphones on and I wasn't sure if the mic was still going to work.
Very clear and loud.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah. I've got workmen around and they're like sawing the concrete on the outside of the building. It's very noisy.
Are they wearing little fleece shorts, Heidi?
No, they've got big pot bellies.
Okay. Bummer.
Damn. But on the upside, I had a date on Saturday. Yeah. And he's so cute. I can't wait to see him again.
Oh,
Yeah.
Heidi.
Did I just hear about a cute guy?
Yeah, you did. He's I just had a date with him and I really like him and I'm just so keen on getting out of my comfort zone and telling him that I'm getting out of my comfort zone and telling him that I really like him.
Oh, I love it.
And he's got dreadlocks and he's part Māori and he's He's a freedom fighter and he's super cute and he's just like so open-hearted. Yeah.
Babe, hot
I know.
stuff.
Woohoo.
I love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Thank you for that. I'm glad that wasn't what happened at the open home. So appreciate you guys, Sassy
Oh, yeah.
Sisters. All right, Heidi, tell me all the things. How can I support you best?
Okay. So I have been really frozen. I'm gonna just hang on, I'm just gonna take these earplugs off because they're really hard for me to hear myself. I know that sounds weird. If I put them on, it's because the workman has started with his metal saw again, concrete saw. So yeah, I've been really frozen. I've got a big market on this weekend, so this week is all kind of taken up with finishing off bits of jewelry, getting enough jewelry, prices, blah blah blah. And I keep feeling my internal pressure to get my membership up and running and keep offering myself out for VIP, for one-on-ones.
Yeah.
I've got so much going on though. So yeah, I just feel really, I've been feeling really unqualified and like I've got nothing to give. And I know I've got heaps to give, but I just feel like what I've got is not as good as what everyone else has got to give. And that's just what I've been fucking mindsetting myself with. Yeah, that I'm trying to clear.
Okay. Amazing. All right. So who are the people you're comparing yourself with?
Well, it feels like everybody, not everybody, but it feels like the whole community around me here in Taranaki, and maybe it's just I'm not so used to living in a big community because I've lived in a little village. But there are people here that do really good mandala paintings. There are people here that make beautiful crystal jewelry. There are people here that do incredible body working. There are amazing sound alchemists or sound healers. And then incredible contact care workers. And I'm like, I just feel really, and those are all the things that I do. And I just feel really, I suppose I'm telling myself that I do all of those, but none of them very well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what if it's not about you not doing them really well? It's about them needing to be brought into a tapestry, like woven in to just one particular Heidi specific process. Does that make sense? Like, I know we've done the wheel before, the rainbow wheel.
Yeah,
but
I've been
what
thinking
if
about that?
Yeah, but what if it's and I'm just throwing this out there, so it might not be it. We're just playing in the field of potential here. But what if it wasn't about what you did and it's about how you hold this space? Like as in, if say you are grandmother Anna, right? And she knows everything. She's got like the herbalist. She knows how to do sacred prayer. She's a sepulchre, crazy, amazing lady. She knows how to do this and this and this. And people know her as the grandmother medicine woman, wise woman.
Yeah.
And so people head to her. They head to her for the magnetism of the fact they know that she will have something for them.
Yeah. I'm going to try and move, but there's really not many places to go.
No. What's he doing?
God. It's maybe marginally better.
What's he doing?
Oh, My house has been leaking. It's a brick house. I live downstairs.
Yeah.
And that's the furthest away I can get.
No, you're good.
He's taking the concrete bricks out, a layer of them, to go in and fix where the water might be getting in.
Oh no. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot.
It is. I'm just.
That's a lot. Yeah.
This room is chaos because I've got painting and jewelry and all sorts going on in here. Anyway.
It's amazing. I wondered how you had all the space to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So knowing, for example, let's use grandmother Anna as a space holder, knowing that she wasn't specifically qualified in one thing, that she branched a whole range of wisdom and became the wise woman of that entire scenes, right? And knowing that from that space, there wasn't a need to be qualified. There was just a knowing that she was rock solid in who she was. So people went to her for that confirmation in themselves.
Yeah. I get that, and I love that.
What happens in your body?
And I feel like I've forgotten who I am. I feel like, I feel like I've just lost my confidence.
Yes.
So
one, can I question on a personal level whether this is a integration space after your week-long, intensive with Jen?
Yeah.
Because a lot of her work is underworld work, right? It is psychic. It is so deeply intertwined with the underworld. That integration space can be 3 to 4 weeks long easily.
Yeah. And even there, like, I had so much go on there. My body was really broken and painful while I was there. And I came home and it was so severe. Just like I felt like my whole spine, my adrenals, my kidneys, my sacrum, it was just, I felt broken. I thought like I must be riddled with some illness or something. It was just really, really bad. I just felt so physically shattered. Yeah, and then I did go and seek a contact care session with someone.
Yeah.
Which was really amazing. And we ended up going straight into, in fact, I'd mentioned it on retreat to Jen that I felt like it was all generated from where I had my lumbar puncture.
Yeah.
And then this session, this session was amazing. So the session came out as me, a lot of the pain has shifted now, like 70% of it. There's still a little bit there. But bottom line is I had this revelation the other day that when I had the lumbar puncture, my parents left me, abandoned me, handed me over to the medical system who did what they wanted to me. And I was frozen. I was fearful. And I couldn't use my voice to say stop or help or anything. It just happened to me. And the revelation I had was that, this is quite bizarre. So I was saying to my children how I was celebrating them for being together for 11 years because I've only ever had 8-year-long relationships. And as I said that, a penny dropped. And I thought to myself, fuck, at 8 years old, both my parents handed me over to some, foreign person to do whatever they wanted to my body. I had no control over it. And so every 8 years, I've ended the relationship because it's like, okay, it's time to go and fend for myself now or something like that. It was just a revelation.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And where is that in the bones?
It's definitely in the center of my spine.
Yeah. So T12, T13? You're going
kind
higher.
of behind the heart, I'd say, behind the heart.
Okay, so that's getting up into T6, T7.
Is that? Yeah. Or
Even
it's
higher,
like,
actually, T3, T4.
well,
Yeah.
actually in line with maybe the bottom rib, just above the bottom rib.
Yeah, so you're probably looking at T11, T12.
Oh, yeah.
That's where a lumbar puncture usually is.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and so knowing that this is an opportunity for a journey back to wholeness,
Mm.
if you hold that and you hold your belly button,
Yeah.
just asking the body 0 to 100, how much autonomy does your body have? Or does it feel like it has?
Autonomy. I got 40.
40?
40.
Yeah. So that's a fuck ton. That 60% is handed over to somebody else. So who has it? Who has your body autonomy?
Mm. I don't even think it's from this planet.
There we go. Keep going.
Yeah. So when you ask that question and I close my eyes, I just get a visual of something alien.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So it's going to take a full banishing ritual, right? And Kanika to pull that energy out of your belly button.
Right. Yeah.
Because the who am I, who am I,
Yes.
if the body doesn't feel like it's in its full agency or autonomy, of course we don't know who we are.
Yeah.
Because there's nowhere to land. So your consciousness is in many different dimensions.
Yeah.
Right. And seizures are one of the hardest ones because we do go to different dimensions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to do a full process. Maybe the sacral pump.
Yes.
With T12 belly button, Kanika, and a banishing spell of anything that may, be trying to hold agency or autonomy over your body.
Yeah.
Because the reality is you're an incredible and remarkable healer and facilitator.
Yeah. So the sacral pump makes me nervous, just nervous for my back.
Yeah, so just put a little bit more pressure on like a towel, or you could do it. Do you have a Kmart down there?
No.
Do you have your rebounder?
Yes.
Is it long enough that you can put your head on a couch and you can still bounce your bum on it?
Probably not, because my head would be up higher, but I could give it a go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try that.
Yeah, I could actually take the couch cushions off and make them.
Yeah. And literally, like, it's not going to hurt your back because you'll naturally protect your back. But as much as we can get, like, you can just bolster your whole body.
Yeah.
Or even hold I've even held my hands under like that just to give it somewhere to drop onto. But if you, I don't know, for any reason do get a Kmart order, they have these little pillows that are blow up and they're a little bit spiky on the top. And you could just blow that up gently and have that under. And it's a sensory sitting thing. It's for sensory kids that they sit on so that their body's still moving while they're sitting when they're fidgeting.
Yeah.
But you could use that as a base. But yeah, I would do the sacral pump with headphones on so that you get to rage.
Yeah.
And in that, you're calling back all contracts and clearing all entities and false architecture connected to your body, right?
Yeah.
And the who am I will naturally kind of start to filter back in because it's, the body's been afraid to have all of yourself.
We all got little beads for this retreat. This is what I got. I am.
Holy shit, right there. There's your sign.
I am. Yeah.
Yeah. And your card was the journey to wholeness.
Yeah, right.
Which was completely missing from this deck and only came back 2 days ago.
Oh, wow.
It went on a journey with someone in a car
Oh, amazing.
for 6 months.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So there you go.
I reckon. Yeah, perfect. Journey to wholeness. Okay. What? So what do you
and
do for
sorry,
banishing ritual?
what was that, babe?
What do you do for a banishing ritual? Do you just do that clear, cleanse, cut, release?
I do, but then I go a little bit deeper and I create the 4 directions,
Yeah.
and then I place a like a flat obsidian underneath me,
Yes.
and then I will try and hook, because you can't go right over top of me, but I've got a hook up on my windowsill,
Yeah.
so I'll hook a quartz above me, so I'll create the
yeah.
Kanika grid basically.
Yeah.
And then I literally banish all ties, connections. So it's like a whatever wants to come through in that moment, but it's light language. It's a lot of light language.
Yeah. Okay. I can do that.
Yeah.
I
And
can
I'll
do
write down anybody's names that come up, even if it's just a thought.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right,
Okay.
goddesses, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being live. I love our sessions. I don't know when our next Sassy is, but I'll let you know. And we still have November and December, so I don't know. Yeah, I can't remember what Valeria was asking on that session today, but okie doke. Send you all love. Thank you. Mwah. Have the sassiest day.
Thank you.
Bye.